Yeah, it's been great. Having all those reps gives you a chance. So I'm really happy I was able to work with these guys. The guys up front working on the communication, the receivers, backs, tight ends, everybody. So it's been a really good week of work.
I know you talk about, players always talk about preparing everybody like you're. Was it different getting on the plane knowing like it's not one snap away, it's the first snap?
I think having starts under your belt definitely helps. Knowing what that process is like, going through the week, getting all the reps, everything leading up to the game. So that definitely helps. But yeah, it's a totally different mindset when you're starting the game.
As he said, every game you treat the same, but this is your childhood team. You won a Super Bowl with the Eagles just 10 months ago. What makes this matchup just feel more special to you?
Probably just the relationships. Just grateful to play this game where you get to meet people and build lifelong relationships. I'll be friends with a lot of those guys for the rest of my life. So it'll be pretty cool going up against them on Sunday, and I'm excited for it.
You've been talking to Jalen at all this past week?
Hurts?
Yeah.
No, we haven't. I'll see him after the game for sure.
Coach said that you've been having confidence. It wasn't just this week. So how do you stay in that next man up mentality?
Just always playing, with a little bit of an edge. Every day in practice, going against the defense, trying to make those guys better. I think that's where it starts. And then always being ready. You never know when your number's called. It's rare. It's usually like what it was last week in terms of being a backup. There's no warning. You're just getting thrown in there and you got to go. So, now that I'm the starter and got reps, I feel a little bit more comfortable this week.
How beneficial is it for you to go up against a team that you do have experience having to go up against in practice every day?
Yeah, it's beneficial, but some things change. You watch tape, you see some different things that they're doing, some new faces over there as well. So I think it helps a little bit, but not as much as I'm sure people think.
How much confidence do you take from last week coming in and playing as well as you did down the stretch?
Yeah, it was great. It was a good stepping stone. Place to build on. First time really getting some real action. Can put a quarter of work together. So that was a positive. But we got to win games. So that's what it's going to come down to.
As a former first-round pick, how important is this opportunity to you to have this stage coming up week 15?
Every opportunity is big, in this league. I don't think it matters where you get drafted. Every opportunity is huge. You work really hard, so you want to go out there and put on a good performance. So we had a great week of practice. I know every guy in here is prepared.
This is your third team this year being with the Raiders, and maybe at one point in the season it wouldn't have looked like you had this opportunity. So have you looked back and maybe how special maybe is having this opportunity, just knowing your path?
Yeah, it's been a crazy year to say the least. Bouncing around a little bit. Just got a great support system. My family, my wife, my friends. They keep me upbeat. It's been a wild year. I'm just grateful to have the opportunity. I definitely have a really good outlook on it. Worked hard and prepared, so I just want to go out there and kind of loose on Sunday.
How have you felt the support from the guys around you this week?
Yeah, it's a special group. But it kind of goes back to what I was saying before about the relationships you get to build with people. We're with each other more than we're with, our family members. We're with each other nonstop. We have a really, really good, tight-knit group. The thing we're lacking right now is wins, and that's what we all want. So I know every guy in here is working hard to get this thing back on track.
Going back to Pennsylvania, how bad has the ticket situation been?
Everyone's been pretty good. I think my dad and my wife probably handle it the most. I think they let me focus on football and they kind of help me out with the ticket situation. But I'm excited to see a lot of people that I haven't seen back home after the game.
You mentioned the bumps in the road that you've had this year. How has that maybe helped shape you into a better player and a better person in a way?
Yeah, you just don't have time to really think when in the situation that I was in. You get traded a week before the season. You're on a plane at 4 a.m. I was out in the field at 12, I think, and trying to run the offense. Guys were helping me out. I was asking for routes in the middle. I think it just builds character. But you get callous to a lot of things that you go through in this league. Whether it's negative or positive, you're kind of numb to any kind of noise at this point, and you just want to go out there and play because you work really hard at it. So I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've had, the journey that I've been on. I definitely think it's shaped me to be a better person.
This is, as you know, when you talk about this year, it's a business. Like, you've understood that. Like, do you look at this as an audition for yourself?
I just think it's another opportunity. I mean, I've had times to play. I've been patient, waiting for an opportunity now. I had a time last week. I have another opportunity this week. So you never know when they're going to come. You just have to take advantage of them. It all starts with the work and preparation, and every guy in here put that in. So I know we're confident to go out there and play on Sunday, and we'll see what happens.